Hello, good day to all of you. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video tutorial. My name is Kyung, and today I will share with you on the step-by-step guide on how to set up the Noxturnal software for sleep staging and scoring respiratory events. Before we move on further, please make sure that you have watched the videos that are available on Nox Academy. We recommend that you watch 2 videos before proceeding with this video tutorial. The 2 videos are how to create custom recording types and device profiles for Nox A1 with Noxturnal 5. And the second video would be creating signal layouts or workspace layouts. Let's look at the agenda today. In Chapter 1, I will be sharing with you on how do we set up the Noxturnal software for scoring and review. In the sub-chapters, we will be looking at the steps on how to set up the analysis protocol, and in Chapter 2, I'll be sharing with you on how we use the Noxturnal software for sleep staging, and in Chapter 3, we'll be looking at using the software to score respiratory events. There are 2 ways that we can use the Noxturnal software for sleep staging and scoring respiratory event. The first method will be the fully automated analysis tool, and the second method will be using the custom analysis tool. First up, let's start with customizing the analysis protocols. On the right side here are all the analysis detectors that are available for this analysis protocol. For example, you can see here, this is the detector for the body position. This is the detector for activity. And you can see here, this is a detector for the apnea and hypopnea. We can also add more detectors into this analysis protocol. For example, you can see on the left side here, these are the detectors that are available for us to add in to this analysis protocol. Now I will just try add in bruxism detector. You can see here, the bruxism detector is added. If I do not want this detector in this analysis protocol, I can just click on the cross mark here, the X, and it will be removed from this analysis protocol. One of the common questions that we always get is, can we change the percentage of the minimum desaturation drop? Of course, you can. Just look for the desaturation detector, and then you can modify the properties here. So when you are done customizing the analysis protocol, just click here, Save, and Close. Then click on Analysis. You can see here, our customized analysis protocol is available here. Some of you may have a different idea of doing this. Some of you may have the question, can I choose the detectors that I only wanted? That means there are some detectors that I want it to run automatically, while some of these signals or traces, I wanted to score it manually. Let's try and create one now. I'll click on Manage Protocols. Since I already created this, I'll just click on here and New Based On. I will give it a different name, maybe custom Nox analyzer. Then what I can do is I can check and to see which detectors I want it to be there and what are the detectors that I wanted to remove from this analysis protocol. For example, I wanted to score the apnea and hypopnea manually, so I'll just remove it from here. Arousals, I'll just remove it. Sleep scoring, yeah, I'll just remove this as well. Then I'll just leave the rest intact. Then I'll just click Save and Close. And then you can see there's a Nox category with both the analyzer available here. All right. Now we are done with the analysis protocol. Now we are moving on to chapter 2 on using the Noxturnal software for sleep staging. In this chapter, I will show you on how easy and fast it is to use the software. As mentioned earlier on, there are two methods that we can use the Noxturnal software to sleep stage and score the studies. So, I will first explain on method 1 using the full automated analysis tool. In order to use method 1, during the configuration of the Nox recorders in the recording type, for analysis, you will need to select analysis protocol with sleep staging and respiratory analysis detectors enabled. Or you can use the PSG and respiratory analysis protocol, which is the default setup. By using method 1, this is probably one of the fastest methods to get the patient's report generated. In the recording library, after a study has been downloaded from a Nox recorder, or the user has just stopped and closed an online recording, all the patient's data will be shown here. Now, I will choose the patient data that I wanted to analyze, and then I will just double click on the data. While loading up the patient's data, Noxturnal will run the analysis protocol that you have selected earlier in the recording type. This analysis protocol is tagged to the recording type that you selected to acquire the study. Now we have the Recording Results tab here. This tab gives us a quick overview on the patient's condition with complete data on sleep stages, the ODI and the AHI, snore percentage, flow limitation index, total sleep time, and the rest of the information here. This can only be done if you have selected the detectors such as sleep scoring detector and the apnea hypopnea detector. If these detectors are not selected, some of this information will not be shown here. One more thing to note that when you open the patient's data, it will also automatically load the workspace that we have preset in the recording type earlier on. And you can see in the PSG sheet here. You can see that all this has been scored. It has been sleep stage. as well as the respiratory portion. You can see that the snore has already been scored as well. One of the features that you may like on the recording results tab would be on how easy it is to mark the invalid data sections. For example, you can just go to the periods bar here and then left click and highlight a portion, then score invalid data. Then it will mark this portion here as invalid data. You can see here, it has all been marked as invalid data. For fast report printout, you can just click on Print Report, and this will send the report directly to the printer, or you can just choose to view the report. Please note that this report template is also preset by the user earlier on the recording type. After you are done, just click on the X or the cross mark here. Noxturnal will automatically save all your work and close the workspace. We are now done with method 1. Let's move on to method 2, the custom analysis tool. In order to use method 2 in the recording type, you will have to choose a custom analysis protocol for the analysis section. In this customized analysis protocol, you will have the predetermined detectors that you wanted in order for you to use to score your studies. Now I will just choose the patient that I wanted to analyze and score. I just double click on it. And now we are in the recording results tab, and you can see that the AHI is 0.0. There are no sleep stages pie chart available here. If I click on the PSG sheet, you see that there's no sleep stage watermark. It has not been staged. In the respiratory events, there are no events on apneas and hypopneas that has been scored. The default shortcut key will be at the numeric keypad of the keyboard, whereby number 0 will be for stage wake, number 1 will be for stage N1, number 2 will be for stage N2, number 3 will be for stage N3, and number 5 will be for stage RAM. I can just press on the shortcut key and it will be sleep stage immediately. You can also centralize the epoch by clicking here and then move it by pressing the keyboard key left or right. When you are done with sleep staging, you can just press the escape key on the keyboard to stop sleep staging. Now we will move on to chapter 3 on scoring respiratory events. For scoring of respiratory events, just click at the respiratory sheet here, and then we recommend that you click on Fit All and Scale All. This eliminates the hassle of adjusting the signals and windows manually. It is so convenient and fast when you're scoring the respiratory events via Noxturnal software. For example, if you can just highlight here, all the relevant events, the shortcuts will be shown here. You can either click on the shortcut key which is in the bracket, or you can just simply click on them, or you can use the tab key on your keyboard and it will go through the events that are available for this trace here. So for example, if I wanted to have this as hypopnea, there it goes. Not only that, if you click on this single click scoring icon, all you need to do is to define the first events like this. And then I can just highlight like this without having to press the shortcut key again. This mode remembers the last event that you have inserted in that trace. For example, if I've changed this to obstructive apnea, the next in line, it will change to obstructive apnea. But for desaturation and snore, it did not change because it still remembers the last event that was inserted in the traces respectively. Some users love split screens when they score their studies. Here's how you create the split screen. For the view that you wanted to be on top, you will have to be on the signal sheet first. For example, if you want to see all the EEGs, EOGs, and EMGs on the top, you will need to be at the PSG sheet like this. And then click here and keep pressed on the respiratory sheet and drag it down like this until you see a horizontal blue or purple box, and then you release it. There you go. You have got the split screen. I can then click on Fit All and Scale All. You can click here, and this is the time base of 30 seconds. And you can click here. You can change the time base maybe like to 5 minutes. And you can see the tabs has been combined in this manner. If you want to exit from the split screens mode, it is easy. Just left click and just drag it to the side. Then you will exit from the split screen mode. Of course, you can then fit all and scale all again. For all the scoring that has been done, it will be reflected in the Recording Results tab. But first, let me just insert a few sleep stages here. And then if you click on the Recording Results tab, you can see that the sleep stages pie chart is available now, and the AHI is shown here. So when you are done scoring all the respiratory events and you have sleep staged the study, you can go to Reports and select the report template that you wanted, then print the report. After the report has been generated, you can just click on the cross mark here, the X, to close and save the workspace. With the steps shown earlier on, I believe you will find the right and ideal combination that you wanted for your practice. Alright, We are coming to the end of this video. I sincerely hope that this video on Noxturnal software helps you to sleep stage and score respiratory events for your studies faster and easier. Thank you for all your time today and have a great day ahead. See you all in our future videos.